So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be going from round 2 to round 1. Apparently, a special someone is good to go, and we are ready to go in a matchup like this. It is going to be our lone Terran versus one of the greatest Zerg players, one of the greatest players in the Philippine region. It's PhyNix versus EnDerr, and we are going to be getting into the game in just a bit. I tossed the lobby host quickly to Mizzle so I can go for the intro, and we are going to be getting a pretty standard map pool so far. Bans are two macro maps, Ice and Chrome, as well as Pillars of Gold. Golden Wall, of course, banned out as per usual, but it's Submarine banned here, so we are going to be seeing that Aura, as well as Eternal Empire. We're not sure of the order as of yet, so we'll leave that hollowed, but Everdream LE will be our first map. I can't wait to see what kind of strategy EnDerr brings to the table and what has PhyNix been up to. Now, there have been a little bit of accomplishments there for both sides, for both of these players. PhyNix, in the first hand, he was able to finally reach Grandmaster. I'm very, very proud of this guy. I've been watching his journey from the very start, literally trying to get as better as he can, really improving. Not part of Team Dragon, all the like. Reaching GM is no easy feat, and it is amazing that he's finally made it to that goal. In the meantime, of course, EnDerr needs no introduction. He's a Grandmaster player, true and blue, and he just came in from the ANZ Champs tournament, which was the ESL Tour leg for DreamHack Summer, I believe, which I was covering from yesterday for the Taiwan Hong Kong region. And he did, when I got on stream, he did win out his match, but I'm not too sure if in terms of his record he did make it. I can check that out real quick. But hey, it's always good to see a PH representative there, and I believe it's just sometimes the region difference really hurting him in the long run. But in the meantime, no, he made it. He's like no, no, he didn't. He made it, I believe, to the playoffs. Did he? I'm not too sure actually, but he is all the way there with 3-2 standing. He's second in his group, so that's really, really good to see for him in the first place. So absolutely kudos to them. I think he does move on to the main event. Not too sure about that. I'm gonna check that real quick while we're waiting for him to get ready. But yeah, he is second in the group, just behind Probe, which is really one of the best Protoss players in the region, especially coming in from Australia, being the likes of Ranger, Bliss, Justice Simon, as well as Hut. In the meantime, though, of course, there is that whole other bracket with Sader and Exemi Omika, Azure, Demi, and Pez. But yeah, you can really see there are a lot of hopefuls from not only the ANZ region, but also from SEA. And it just goes to show how competitive our set can be in the first place. But it's great to have all these players up and running. And it's great to see EnDerr really prove his form continuously, winning out some local tournaments here in the quarantine set, winning out that SEA Games from last year, and now he is really part of the best in the region. He has always been, but it really just goes to show that he is still there no matter what, not being complacent whatsoever, really practicing as much as possible. And right now we are just waiting on for a little bit of technical issues to be handled by our admins. But overall it has been a great set so far. We had a pretty good game earlier on between Garchu as well as Bayagster. And it's great to also have EnDerr in. He's like GGG. He was just like, no, I'm gonna make it, guys. I'm gonna make it there, and I'm gonna be able to play. Seems like though he has reconnected, and we should be good to go coming into this one. Terran versus her yet again. And where is Mr. Mizzle? Where is our admin? Why is he not here? Mr. Mizzle, okay? You okay? You okay? What happened? England troubleshoot that. What happened there? Really, really, really weird. But that's how it is sometimes. But it seems like we are gonna be ready to go. All I gotta say is I'm proud of so many of our Masters Plus bracket players. The likes of PhyNix making it to GM, the likes of Artanis PH making it back to Masters. Seeing Garchu, David Bain sign up for this bracket really going to show again. It is pretty much a good time. Now, I feel like I'm forgetting about a little something something, so I'll talk to our admins afterwards, but we should be good to go. Mizzle is gonna be giving me the lobby, giving me the host, so I think we can get started. It is PhyNix though. PhyNix has the lobby lead, so it should be a-okay. Hopefully Mr. Mizzle is fine and dandy, but yeah, Terran versus Zerg. Now, of course, we are a little short-handed as per usual. It is gonna be the two-man show for now. And of course, if you guys can help out, just hop into the Discord and really appreciate anything that can be going on in the first place. Anyway, PhyNix versus EnDerr. Terran versus Zerg. Can our Terran player, our lone Terran player, get the upset here? Or will EnDerr be able to decimate those forces as quick as can be? We will find out very, very soon, as it is high time right now to get into Everdream. PhyNix is ready to go. Is EnDerr set and good? Yes, he is. Now, let's move into map number 1. Counting on down. Terran versus Zerg. Gonna be really interesting. What kind of bio play will PhyNix actually whip out this time? Now, something to note for our boy PhyNix, he is pretty much noted to be a very, very mech heavy player. But since he is playing into newer meta right now, he's been practicing with bio, and he has been doing a pretty good job at it. But the real question is, will it actually stand the test against EnDerr? I've been hearing rumblings that, people are saying Terran is OP because of just how strong the comp is, but really with good counterplay from both Protoss and Zerg, it's still handleable. I really get the impact. It's such a punishing composition, especially with that 1-1 timing attack, but enough about that, let's move into the game. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. We are set and ready. We are happy to see these players good to go. No more tech issues. Everything is fine and dandy. And introducing first, our Lone Ranger. It is gonna be, on the bottom left, our red Terran, PhyNix. And his opponents, on the top right, this is gonna be the blue Zerg, the man on the mission to really just be the best in the PH and in the SCA scene. Always competing, always representing us internationally. It is the man, the myth, the legend himself, EnDerr. So PhyNix versus EnDerr, Boss Cav versus Boss Benz, and we are going to be getting into this matchup. Now, Barracks is going to be set up here by PhyNix, going for that one Yasper to allow him to get that refinery up and running, as well as that Reaper. So hatchery here into the extractor. Later pull here for EnDerr, so he does want to go for the metabolic boost. And yeah, speed is a very, very important upgrade for any Zerg player against Terran. EnDerr though scouting on the round, wants to see the east side as well as the middle, making sure there are no proxies. But I've seen from PhyNix, he's really not that cheesy kind of guy. He loves playing that macro, he loves getting into a 200-200 state, and loves decimating his opponent. Now, I remember when PhyNix first tried to play bio. There are a few issues here and there, also during the Cibol program, I believe, and basically the whole thing was just stick on mech. But since bio now is a really, really strong comp to an even further degree, wouldn't be surprised to basically see him had that practice. Overall, he's been streaming a lot on his Facebook, so I have gotten a glimpse of his play, but this is really going to be a true test to him, especially against Mr. EnDerr himself. You know, guys, ladder is still a different beast compared to tournaments, and there are some players who aren't really too good at the ladder, but really beast on the tournament. There are also players who kind of just whip something out for the tourney prize itself, so it really goes to show. It's a whole different ballpark, it's a whole different competitive scene, and in the meantime, we are gonna get that metabolic boost here from EnDerr. 2 Queens right now gonna be into play as well. There we go, though, with the Reaper trying to get in the way. EnDerr right now looking for some round. Wants to get in position against that Reaper, but PhyNix able to take that high ground, jumping on the round, bothering the drone as much as possible. And it really just goes to show, it's gonna be high time to say the least. For now, though, EnDerr getting the scouts onto the front line. Here on Everdream, there is an island for your Overlord to be safe and sound. But on the other side, Command Center is going to be up and running here for PhyNix, trying to really catch up with EnDerr and his bases. Does he actually realize there's a third base there? Yes, he does. So he sees the 3-base macro here from EnDerr so far. Noticing his opponent is focusing on as many of these bases as possible. But in this instance, Zergling's just going to be chilling for the time being. EnDerr, though, not really the biggest creep thread. I've seen many new strategies, many players actually go for multiple queens just to get more and more tumors. They are of the light variant right now, so they kind of are easier to kill in first place. But then they're kind of on a more slow and steady pace with these creep tumors. Only one of them spreading on the round. Does go for a second one though, drops it down, being this into the front line as well to make sure he can get a good concave into that natural choke. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go with our Terran versus Zerg matchup. So it seems like the setup has been enabled, and oh, what is this? Mr. PhyNix. Mr. PhyNix, he goes for the 1-1-1, and he does go for the 2-base push as well. Now, interesting enough though, EnDerr sees this one coming. He notices that Tech Lab is researching something, and that has to be Banshee Cloak no matter what. It's pretty much the upgrade that you get for the Tech Lab in the first place. And later on, wouldn't be surprised to see EnDerr get those Spore Crawlers at the right time. He's just making sure he has a good idea of where it's coming, and he also wants to have those minerals in reserve just in case these Hellions decide to go on at. But PhyNix now, with not only 4 Hellions but 6, this is looking very, very imposing if EnDerr is not prepared for it. Creep Spread though into play. We are going for Lair Tech here for EnDerr. And looking at his money right now, he should have enough for the Spore Crawlers that he will need later on into the fight. In the meantime though, I believe the Banshee is out and about already. Yes, it is. Looking to come from the natural and move on forward. Overlord though, just getting a scouting information again, getting shot down by that Marine. And EnDerr, can he make it to the island? Will he actually get up on top? PhyNix! Unable to get that kill, but of course with the Banshee just floating on in, she'll allow that takedown. I don't think he wants to expose that one though at any time soon. Even though I believe that PhyNix already knows that EnDerr has seen it coming. In any case, no. Banshee Cloaking Field, even though the Spore Crawlers are up, you can still use it to the best degree if you go in positions where those detectors aren't in the first place. In any case, EnDerr right now, with these Queens, he did go for Lair Techs that will allow him to get Overseers later on. But here comes the Hellion Brigade, there's a lot of them going for the cook-up. 7 drones do go down! What an attack there from PhyNix! He gets the angle, he gets the cook, but EnDerr still with a good lead right now on the worker counts. Backing on off though. Tries for those foots around there, but the Queen's tanky enough to survive the flames. And kudos there to EnDerr. Even though he lost out 7 drones, he just did not panic. He kept up the push, and now this is the creep spread we've been looking for from him from the very start. Multiple tumors all around, and a lot of vision here for EnDerr. Overlords are just littering the battlefield, and PhyNix forces the cloak early just to get in position. Now, since he used the cloak early, this will allow him to get a drop on EnDerr because these Queens are all the way in the front line, and the Spore Crawler might not be able to handle it. Queen right now, trying to go for the damage, will get caught unaware, and will get taken down. EnDerr getting a little bit of that ghost gameplay courtesy of that Banshee, and you can really see the harassment ongoing, but PhyNix needs to be very careful with this Banshee. It will go down to that Spore Crawler, not the best decision, but on the other side, there we go, the Hellions right now getting a cook up. It's a big distraction there from PhyNix, and EnDerr will be the one looking worse for wear, and it's gonna be more and more damage being done. PhyNix though sacrificing those 2 Banshees for the greater good, but is it worth it? That's gonna be the real question. Did he lose those Hellions? No, so only, oh he did, he lost 8 of those Hellions with the push on there. So I feel like there for PhyNix, not really the best engagement per se. Losing the Banshees kinda hurts him in the long run because he can use that for harassment there. And of course the Hellions, even though they go for the sacrificial run by, losing 8 of them for 11 drones isn't as cost effective as you would think. And something to note also for EnDerr, even after that sacrificial play from PhyNix, how many bases does this guy have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of them with 64 workers right now. Even though the army count is low for the Zerg, he's just feeling so secure in so many ways. Third base though for PhyNix, going onto the low ground, wants to be playing a little bit more on the aggressive traits. And here comes the racks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racks on 3 base. Pretty much standard stuff right now from PhyNix. And he really just wants to play it in a pretty aggressive way, just to get as much numbers as he can. Really going to show though, these 2 players are very, very experienced to say the least. And if you guys are looking over to the giveaway, it is already done. It was for yesterday. It is only, we will be announcing our winner for today instead. In any case though, PhyNix right now gonna get surrounded. What a cleanup there from EnDerr, but the good load on in there from PhyNix, keeping them alive for the time being. +1 though is going online here for our Evo Chamber. And what's the plan there for EnDerr? He's still playing the macro game, he's still staying on Lings and Banes. Not seeing any mutas as of yet, no hive tech whatsoever. He's going for the +1s already and the +2. And like he's really prioritizing that Carapace first because he knows those are going to be sheer numbers on the other side. If these Banelings can survive longer, it's going to be a lot better. But PhyNix with a pretty good load there. Not really the best attack from EnDerr, but he really goes to show that he's so good at getting position on. And this time, PhyNix is dropping down those Marines to sacrifice them against the Banes. And on the other side, EnDerr is just clearing up house and getting rid of these rocks as much as possible. Wonderful creep spread here from EnDerr, but PhyNix is holding his own. Still not done yet, and I do like to see tank play here for PhyNix and be able to get in position in the way on these high grounds. And that's what Everdream is all about. When you are able to step up on the plateau, it does make a difference on the map. Speaking of this one though, PhyNix already relocating himself to the east side. And he's going to be trying to get in position yet again. Going for the shots right now. There we go with the drop down. Creep Tumor getting cleaned up, but here comes trouble because EnDerr going to be moving on in. PhyNix still playing at the edge of the creep. That's another good load there onto the medivac. Really good rescue play there, but unfortunately, that's time the PhyNix able to roll on in. PhyNix really playing with EnDerr there. Trying to go for the seesaw approach, but unfortunately for him, still loses out a number of those units. And now it is high time for EnDerr to start taking the lead. He is focusing on the army right now, kinda not droning up as for the time being. He does have some good saturation though on multiple bases, and PhyNix in the meantime actually getting the worker lead out of nowhere. But in essence, PhyNix just wants to expand. Wants to get that west side base to go for the fort. Can also go on the low ground if he is that ballsy. Push though courtesy of PhyNix right now. He has that 1-1, so he's feeling very confident. For the +2/+2 coming online for EnDerr very soon. At the same time, PhyNix gonna have his engineering bay upgrades up as well. Push though coming on through yet again. There we go right now with the medevac to get in position. I like how PhyNix has caught that EnDerr trying to get these banelings on. Still though, it's high time for Hive Tech. Infestation Pit is set and ready. Really not going to be seeing too much of those units though. And here we go right now with the Banelings catching them out. Nobody back to go for the same. And what a concave here from EnDerr coming in from both sides. These are the siege tanks that are going to get felled. They can't really go for the medevac because they are in shock kind of position. And PhyNix just losing everything right there, right then. EnDerr right now with a floodgate open. And that's what EnDerr is all about. When he gets a good flank on, he really shows his stuff. And in a scenario like this, it is EnDerr right now going for as much damage as possible. The SCVs are going for the fight, but they will go for the volley instead. The Orbital Commander right now gonna get lifted on over, and EnDerr putting an end to things without even the mutas. He's just going for the links and the baits, and he's playing it so exceptionally well. I feel like a mistake here for PhyNix just not deciding to go for those Widow Mines. He's focusing heavy onto the 5 racks approach. He does have siege tanks as well, but there are no Widow Mines to protect him in the long run. And since he has the army already, he could have put them around the map to litter against any of those flanks. So unfortunately there for PhyNix, I really feel like those small little critters gonna get blown up to bits by those mines. But speaking of mines, apparently he has heard me, and he is gonna be going for those drilling claws. Still a fight here for PhyNix. He still has a good chance at this, even though he lost out on that third base. And still EnDerr keeping on ahead with the lead, pretty much as per usual. It is what we expect so far, but PhyNix is really holding his own, so I commend him for it. Really going to show though that for our scene, we are getting our players to really try and come back to EnDerr's level bit by bit. Now we have seen Nux dethrone EnDerr from the recent quarantine tournament, but besides that, it isn't just gonna be like an easy 1-0, 2-0 for EnDerr. No, these players are making him work for it so far, and that's what we really want to see. It's not about EnDerr just dominating every single tournament, because these guys have something to prove, that's for sure. And they do want to be the best in the PA scene. PhyNix right now going to be going for the drop. He wants to get the shutdown on the spawning pool, and it's going to be absolutely huge. The Geo Glads won't get denied. That's perfect there from PhyNix. EnDerr unable to rack, and cheeky stuff there for PhyNix. No attack speed upgrade there from the Lings. And something to note also is now EnDerr cannot build any of those, nor the Queens. And in this instance, he's like, okay, PhyNix, why would you do that? Now I can't build units, so I'm gonna go Ultras instead. So he has the Ultraless Cavern up and running, and in all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised if, because of that spawning pool attack, this does force EnDerr to use those eggs for 6 Ultras rather than anything else. EnDerr doesn't want to break his back though. He still keeps a good amount of gas for Banelings, and he's keeping an eye out, making sure that his medevacs aren't really able to do everything they want as per usual. Still though, I feel like PhyNix has seen the ace in the hole here. He has seen his opening, and getting rid of this spawning pool has to be, well, the best thing coming into this one. In any case though, on the east side already looking for a step. PhyNix gonna be hugging that corner, looking for the drop. Really going for the attack there onto the Queen so far. In the meantime, EnDerr just still hanging out, but here comes the Banelings right now out of nowhere. And cheeky stuff real far from both sides. So I'd love to see EnDerr get that burrow. Baneling bombs from beneath gonna be absolutely huge into this one. But this time though, EnDerr's making sure he will get that adrenal glands, that's for sure. Ground Carapace level 3 also gonna be up and running. He is gonna be close to that +3 at the same time for the attack. And what is the plan here for PhyNix? He's trying to get all he can, that's for sure. He's trying to get every single upgrade. And in a scenario like this, there we go with the anabolic synthesis, allowing these ultras to go even faster, even off creep. So movement speed, that's what this is all about right now. And here comes the Zerg again, going for an overwhelming odd. PhyNix has already kept back his macro and got a good number of units, but will this be enough against these elephants trying to cross on through the room? 4 SCs have gone out already, and here comes the +3 upgrade here from EnDerr, also timing it out to get the upgrade just in time. And it is going to be high time for these elephants to get those Kaiser Blades on and do everything they can to get the shutdown. GG is called, and EnDerr will win it out. PhyNix giving it a good go, especially shutting down that spawning pool, but you can really see experience is the best teacher, and EnDerr is our victor. It's a very good game there for PhyNix. I'm really proud of his play there, but unfortunately, EnDerr's still a little too strong into the long run. And all I gotta say is well played there to EnDerr winning that one out. So we are gonna be going into our second map in just a bit. We'll confirm that real quick though, because we need to figure out what it is going to be in the first place. But EnDerr with the victory there on Everdream. And what is map 2, guys? What is map 2? Let me find out. What's map 2? What's map 2? Okay, invites party. Where is Mr. EnDerr also? Wait lang, guys. There you go, Gendu. What's map 2, boys? What is map 2, guys? What is map 2? We need to figure out what map 2 is, and I'm I'm setting up the lobby real quick just in case. But you know, hey, a good victory there from EnDerr. He was able to just play the links and the banes to the best degree. The beautiful concave from both sides, left and right pincer attack, just doing all the damage they can and joining the DC echo. I only have the bans kasi. Only have the bans, so it's either that aura or eternal. If I remember correctly, yeah, it's either one of the two. Not too sure though of the order. Eternal Empire. Okay. Okay. It's if it's Eternal Empire, then it is Eternal Empire. No worries about that. So we'll go into the game. We'll go into our second map, and we have confirmed our map selection from our players. So no worries about that. Eternal Empire will be map number 2. Then Aura will be map number 3. At least we got confirmation. And just a quick little map recap so far. So on Everdream, and they're able to take that win. Coming into the second map, though, it is going to be time for a little more of that veterancy, a little bit more of that familiarity. And we have confirmed the map pool. As we move into the map, we still need to get into the lobby, though for some reason it's not working. But Everdream, map number 1, finished up. Eternal Empire, map number 2 coming our way. And if PhyNix is able to tie things up, we are going to be going into that aura for the last go. Accept lobby. Accept lobby. Come on, guys. Accept that lobby. Let's get into the game. I'm really excited because PhyNix has showed that he can hold his own, but of course, EnDerr still proven to be the favorite coming into this match. So it seems like Mizzle is struggling to get his maps going, so it's highly unfortunate. But it's okay, Mr. Mizzle. I got this from here. I don't worry, Mr. Mizzle. Just set up everything else. Yeah, I got you. You got me. You the best. The daddy of SCPH, Mr. DLS Mizzle. Because of him, he was like, okay, you know, we're gonna be getting into more and more of these tournaments, and hey, solid stuff overall. Now it's high time to get into the action, and we got EnDerr versus PhyNix yet again. Charon versus Zerg. Race check real quick. Is EnDerr gonna be ready to go to try and get the sweep, or can PhyNix actually win things out? That's gonna be the real question as we move on into Eternal Empire. All I gotta say is, well, these are some of the best really in the PH scene, but EnDerr is doing all he can see hard. It's the funny thing is when you say ready and then you go immediately, I gotta use the bathroom, so yeah, we'll be waiting for these guys to be set and good to go. Now, so far that we have gotten a few results here and there, and I believe Nux winning out against Cypem there. Also, Bayagster beating out Garchu. So, our round 3 matchup between Nux and Bayagster going to be next on the list after this one. In the meantime, though, Artanis PH, after winning out on Dave and Bane, he's still waiting for all these results because whoever wins this will be facing off against Azin next. So, that's going to be another Zerg player in our cards. And in the lower bracket, we'll be cleaning that one up very shortly. We'll stick on the upper bracket right now, guys. We're still staying on with all our guys here. And this PhyNix versus EnDerr game is still keeping up to the best degree. In any case, though, if you want to see updates on the bracket, that is going to be on the exclamation point bracket or exclamation point B if you need to use that alias. And, you know, it's as acceptable as it can. It's challenge. It's pretty much where all the StarCraft things happen. And it really just goes to show that's a very familiar state for many of our players. In any case, we are going to be getting into the game in just a bit. And this is the Quarantine Tournament number 4. It is going to be a 1-0 advantage for EnDerr, though, coming into map number 2. And this is a best of 3. Let's get into the game. Let's get into the match. And let's move on in to our next battle. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go yet again. Introducing first on the top right, it is gonna be our red Terran, PhyNix. And his opponent. Here on the bottom left instead, it's the man a map ahead. It is our blue Zerg, EnDerr. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. Another battle between Terran versus Zerg and PhyNix right now, trying to go for the comeback. He is one map down, and he's going to be going for that standard play with the Refinery, going to be going for that Barracks as well. In the meantime, of course, EnDerr will be looking to play that back row game. Hatchery first yet again. Similar stuff to our previous game. So earlier on, all I got there from EnDerr was if he stays on Lings and Banes, he can still do amazing things. In the meantime, though, for PhyNix, at least whipping things out on the drop play, but again, there's no Window Mines hurting him in the long run. The C-Snacks are pretty good, that's for sure, but at the same time, they are going to get overrun by the overwhelming odds and positioning, and that is where EnDerr can truly shine in the first place. All I gotta say is, though, that was just all about EnDerr outplaying his opponent, especially in the clash up onto the ramp. And in the end, it allowed him to get that victory, snowballing with a huge lead on the macro. In any case, we are on Eternal Empire, pretty big map to move on around, and we'll see if PhyNix or EnDerr can actually utilize this map to the best degree. Now, looking at EnDerr's playstyle, I wouldn't be expecting to see him not on like 4 bases minimum. He can really go for a big expansion in the long run, but for now, it is going to be time for PhyNix to get his own expansion up and running. Reaper being built as well. Orbital Command gonna be set on up, and all I gotta say is here on Eternal Empire we've seen some great matches. This has been the map that has stayed on for the longest so far. I believe it has been what, 2, maybe 3 seasons worth, I'm not too sure, but it really has been that map to stabilize on, to say the least. Speaking of map pool though, I really like the new map pool. I like all the additions. I don't feel there's anything too out there. If anything, I'd really just want to get rid of Golden Wall because it is so different to say the least. Now, difference is not bad, but if you're going to be playing competitive, sometimes there are players who can just do something really out there on a map that enables them. So yeah, just understanding what map to play on, what map pool to have, does make a difference for every single competitive player. In any case, it is going to be time right now to stay on the southwest side. And EnDerr doing all he can and more. Joining on up as much as possible. On the other side though for PhyNix, getting the second base up and running. Macro rotation for both sides. Hatchery right now being built by EnDerr again, going for that third. And here comes PhyNix right now going up the ramp, but these queens are in a good form. They do try to get rid of those escape paths from the Reaper. And EnDerr right now sticking on to the 2-queen approach. Now I've seen people play 3 queens a little earlier than this. EnDerr though is getting his 3rd queen up and running, so he's going to be looking for that creep spread a little bit more. On the other side, Metabolic Boost right now is up and running. Creep Tumors going all around. And there's going to be engagement here. Can EnDerr actually get his Creep Tumor up and going? Yes, it does. That Reaper, desperate to get that kill, not going to happen. And you know, that Reaper is a good scout. It's also good at bothering those kind of engagements, but unfortunately, they just don't do too much damage unless they are en masse. In any case, it's PhyNix's time right now to set up these Hellions onto the eastern side. He is going to be going for that 6 Hellion push again, but he does go for the medevac this time as well as a lone Marine. What's going to be the plan here for PhyNix? Will he actually go for the drop? That's going to be the real question. Overlord though will get spotted already, and that is going to be the medevac coming on out immediately. Tech Lab though for the barracks. Here go more and more of these Hellions, and oh my god, PhyNix whipping this one out. So it is back to the roots of PhyNix, back to one of his tried and tested builds. He goes for the 1-1. He's trying to bait EnDerr out just a little bit to say that he's going for the drop, and he's queuing up a Viking right now. Wouldn't be surprised though if he cancels that, if he does get that fusion core in time, but there you go, immediately canceling that one out. Really smart there from PhyNix. Making EnDerr see what he wants to see. Now he does have the Tech Lab on to the starport, and EnDerr is none the wiser so far. He doesn't know exactly that the fusion core is there, but already EnDerr has to be wondering, why aren't there enough barracks so far? Why is there no 3rd base coming up? So this must be something that Mr. PhyNix is looking to get a little bit of a handle on. For now though, does EnDerr still know that this is coming? Not going to be the case whatsoever. In the meantime though, for PhyNix, he's just keeping these Hellions at bay, making sure that they're all going to be fine and dandy. The medevac right now though, on the south side with all these Hellions, and yeah, PhyNix is looking to be building into a more mech-oriented playstyle yet again. Tried and tested here for PhyNix, pretty much what he loves, those Hot Wheels, trying to beat Daks and beat back his opponents. Queen though already in position here for EnDerr to try and get in the way. No Queen though on the right side here for EnDerr. It is going to be close to the upcoming lair. And in instances like this battle cruiser here from PhyNix might be the biggest surprise of them all. Now the BZ hasn't been the most popular thing because, as we said, Bio is really the new hotness coming into this one. But speaking of the heat, these Hellions gonna be in the middle of the map, and we see more and more of that movement from EnDerr. Now he's trying to really keep an eye out on this third base timing. EnDerr wants to know that it feels like for PhyNix, he might be waiting for something big to come. And since EnDerr got a scout onto these Hellions already, he knows that PhyNix is really anticipating an upcoming fight. The question is, will EnDerr be able to prepare for this? He has Spark already onto the natural. No Spore though onto main. And here comes the BC out of nowhere. This could be a crippling blow against EnDerr. If the movement is going to be 1 point here for PhyNix, Hellion's going to get dropped onto the main base as well, cooking up those Zerglings and trying to get the damage onto the Queens. And speaking of the cook, here comes the Hellions right now, courtesy of PhyNix onto that third base. A good movement right so far from the Terran, but as we say that, Hellions are getting dropped left, right, and center. Medivac going to be able to save the day. And what happened to the BC? They're able to back on off. I like the idea, but EnDerr just still in a good defensible spot. And at the end of all of that, EnDerr able to respond in time, move those Queens in position, and able to put a volley onto that BC. Second BC though up and running, and yes, factory time here for PhyNix. When in doubt, go to your roots and play that mech playstyle. All I gotta say here for EnDerr, he has to watch out. You might not be expecting PhyNix to actually play that mech, even though he knows so much about his opponent already. Spark play though already from EnDerr. 3 base Muta is going to be a very strong approach in a matchup like this, unless those doors do come. In any case, we keep on up. That Orbital Command right now trying to float onto the third base. It seems like PhyNix finally making sure that he can actually capture that economic line. Now in the meantime, what's the plan here for EnDerr? He's going for the creep threat as much as possible, getting rid of the rocks here on the east side as well. And will EnDerr actually go for the fourth base on the low ground? I feel like that's going to be the case. Now, it is going to be PhyNix still playing that old school composition. Going for Blue Flame, going for the Maglock Accelerators, I believe, from the Cyclones. So really amplifying that Hellion Cyclone composition, which allows a lot of mobility and a lot of coverage all throughout. But EnDerr right now gonna see all of this coming. It's more factories here from PhyNix. So yes, mech is gonna be into the cards. Muta's still gonna be into play as well. Scan right now coming on out. Well. What is gonna be the input game here? Siege tanks though are the main focus so far of PhyNix. He's not going for the Cyclones as of yet. He's not going for the Hellions for the time being. And something to note though, he can turn them into Hellbats when he does get that army, but I don't think he has it as of yet in the map. So it's really interesting here for PhyNix. I'd love to see him play those Hellbats because they're so good at getting the shutdown and tanking things up. Hatchery though gonna get cancelled out at last moment. Here we go right now with the BCs trying to get on the way. Mutas have been exposed to try and defend that one, but the Queen's in a good spot, and EnDerr with some really good transfusion micro, keeping that hatchery dreams alive. And even though the hatch does go down, EnDerr gets a cancel, is in position to defend that one. The Tactical Warp takes quite a while to recharge, so the BC can't really do something like that anytime soon for free. Cyclones though gonna be into play right now, as those Mutas have been exposed. The missile turrets are set up here by our man PhyNix all throughout the bases. In any case though, it's time for the Mutaflock. This is a big number here from EnDerr. Yeah, 16 of those very quickly. Really saving up that gas just for that. Missile turret still literally the battlefield. One Muta will be going down already. Here comes trouble though. Cyclone's gonna be into the play. And this is gonna be EnDerr trying to go for the chase down, looking for a takedown. Hellion's trying to get the damage there. BCs are into the folly. And can EnDerr get out of dodge there? Yes, he does. Movement from EnDerr, but he does lose a few Mutas along the way. Not a bad response from PhyNix whatsoever, especially those BCs getting in position. That is going to be high time for... I don't know if he blew up a Changeling or his own SCB. I'm just gonna blink and say he did something good, but I really doubt it. +1 though coming online here for the Mutas. +2 also on the melee carapace as well as the melee weaponry. So really goes to show EnDerr still playing to that similar playstyle from before, but this time he does add in the Flock of Bats. These 3 base Muta play gonna be pretty effective at going for the harassment as much as possible, but these are tankier and tankier units here from PhyNix. He's going for Activist Mech, but in the meantime, this air battle gonna be coming on through. Cyclones now going down. These Hellions gonna be completely powerless by this point in time. BCs though, trying to get in position. C-Snacks are getting picked off as well as these missile turrets, and then they're trying to play the best micro he can to really get out scot-free. PhyNix though, forced to respond. He can't just sit there and allow these mutas to do everything they want. And here comes the blue flame right now, getting to cook up, but these Hellions are trying to get into that middle line. The Mule is trying to get free damage overall. 4 drones have gone down, but these Hellions are just getting tossed out for free. And PhyNix a little panicky there. Not the best response. They really go for a little bit of that bait and switch, and of course those mutas are just gonna be having a field day getting rid of these Hellions from above. Everything is going well here for Mr. EnDerr, and he almost gets killed onto that BC. Mulas again into play. Tactical arm right now, so close. There we go with the fair already, and this is going to be 25 mutas to impunity, to a countdown of destruction. Really going for the push-pull antics, getting the glaive worms onto his primary targets. And now with +2/+2 coming online on the ground, will EnDerr send these links in? Seems like it's not the case, but he has so many more mutas in reinforcement cycles. And as soon as he gets his rich rescue geyser, he gets so much efficient gas in the first place. And they're doing all he can and more to keep up this pressure. Queens though, making a smiley face here onto the side, making a curve of creep tumors. And here on Sentinel Empire, the best way through these caverns, these creep ices, has to be the air engagement. And here we go, yet again, movement on around from EnDerr, gets rid of the missile turrets immediately. Utter decimation on the natural line, and as we see that, it is going to be high time for the Zerling Spark to come on through. He's trying to use that supply depot to make sure that he can make it to the other side. Surround right now onto the Thor, because he knows that he wants to get rid of this mech unit as quick as can be, sacrificing those links for the greater good. Mutas though, hammering on into the Orbital Command on the natural, and it's high time right now to get to the high ground. Gets rid of the siege tag lock on though, hurting that Muta will get that takedown. Onto the middle line we go. These missile turrets will not stand a chance whatsoever to the flock of bats. And this is just PhyNix losing all the workers that he has on that main base. Here we go with more and more. These mules right now getting torn apart at the seams. And this is going to be high time for EnDerr to get in position to a big economical lead. 35 SCPs have gone down. Focus fire onto the PCs, even keeping up the pressure. And these are the bats just running on away again. And in behind all of this, EnDerr is not stopping with the upgrades. He's going for +3/+3. He's getting that +2 on the mutas. He's also going for adrenal glands. And PhyNix is desperate right now to go for one big clash. If he wins this one out, he will force a game number 3, but if he loses, he will drop down to the lower bracket where he doesn't want to be. The Thors right now might be the target. Missile turret apparently first, no, never mind, it's the Thor going down. And even though this is PhyNix getting a good splash damage there, and then it's still not going to be enough. I don't think he swapped the right target anyway, then swapped to the proper missiles, but now he does. Onto the high ground, getting the DPS on, but these Thors are still not standing a chance to the upgraded mutas in big numbers. And clean up crew, my name is EnDerr, doing all he can. BCs though coming on through one more time, doing all the damage that they can in the first place if they can get in position. But in an instance like this, EnDerr just able to get away scot-free, and you can see he is just such a big bank. 87 versus 27. This game is all but over unless PhyNix can get the biggest one. GG is called. There you go. EnDerr will take the 2-0 victory, move on to face against Azin. And we are going to be moving over to our next match in just a bit. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. EnDerr just able to take the lead all throughout. He was expecting that bio, already going for those upgrades, but when the mech came and the armories were just so late, again hurting him in the long run. Something PhyNix kind of might have forgotten must be those Widow Mines. I really feel like that's going to be such a good unit to help him out in many of those engagements, especially against those links in the first place. But I digress, you know. It really goes to show PhyNix still loves to play that mix. It's one of his comfort compositions, and he can do all he can with it. Going for the BCs, but unfortunately shut down by EnDerr with that perfect defense. Even with the Queen nerf, he's able to get in a proper spot. He knows where to position, he knows what to do, and that is going to be the show there. That is going to be game, set, and match, and you know, Mutalisk just a little too much to handle for Mr. PhyNix. I do love though, he's very graceful in defeat, and he is just trying to figure out what is the best way to up his game. Now looking at the Mutalisk scores, when you have those Thors, if you have them in really good spots, then they can get some big splash damage. I've seen a few players actually decide to play the Thors with your bio ball, just keep them behind it, but it really is just all about getting a good spot on. Anti-armor can help out, that's for sure, and for me, I think if you do have a good number of Marines, it's still not gonna be enough for those mutas to come on through. So if you do go play that bio, and you have an overwhelming number of Marines in front, a Marine-based bio composition, those mutas should be going down, but that's my take on it, just reading on what's being said. On the other hand though, EnDerr right now with a 2-0 victory. What are your thoughts about that game? Should EnDerr Should PhyNix rather have stayed on bio, or should EnDerr have gone into something else? I think though for EnDerr, he was very successful with the Muta play, really focusing far onto it, especially because he saw the lead. He saw that there wasn't enough anti-air there from PhyNix. A little too late on the Cyclones, a little too late on the upgrades, a little too late on Thors, and they're doing all he can with the pokes with the crippling economy, and he took that win. So we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around, stay tuned. We'll be figuring out what our next map is and our next match is. And this is the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 4, Masters Plus Brackets.